What's going on? Listen, happy Tuesday. So, I'm just minding my business as I do, okay? And I'm just looking on social media, probably my TikTok or Instagram, and I'm seeing a clip of Terrence Howard having a conversation with Bill Maher. And he said that he turned down the Marvin Gaye biopic. I believe Lee Daniels was going to head it. He was going to probably direct it or be, executive producer on this. But I'm like, why? So he said he didn't want to kiss a man. I was like, who are you talking about? What do you mean? Marvin Gaye was that man, that ladies' man in his heyday. Oh my gosh. I think he allegedly was with Tammy Terrell, and you know, um the way Diana Ross sings, "Ooh, I'm missing you." Child, sounds like that was more than just a colleague. I'm just saying. Okay. I'm just saying. When you was trying to go, only you knew the plan. Okay. I tried to be there, but you wouldn't let me in. Okay. It could be just, that was her best male friend or friend. But have you seen Marvin Gaye? Baby, listen, be all kind of blurred lines. And, I don't know if I could stay platonic. Sorry. I'm just saying. That was a fine man, beautiful man, kissed by God. Okay. Sexual healing. Okay. Anywho, you know, um, so he says, I would cut my lips off if I have to kiss a man. So he's implying that allegedly that Marvin Gaye was gay. I'm like, what? I don't know if I believe that, but who knows? Who knows? And if he was, that's his business. Nothing wrong with but I I'm trying to picture that, but then again, you just never know. The actor said he heard from Quincy Jones that the Let's Get It On singer was gay, adding that he wouldn't have been able to portray something he doesn't understand. Um, and this is the article from the Hollywood Reporter. Terrence Howard missed out on the chance to play both Smokey Robinson and Marvin Gaye in biopics, but for different reasons. He calls passing on the former the biggest mistake of his career, saying on Bill Maher's Club Random podcast that he declined the offer from Robinson himself because he was already talking with Lee Daniels about playing Gay in the another biopic. Maher agreed that that was the right call, saying Gay's life story was much more interesting. Hmm. And that Howard would have been perfect as Marvin Gaye, and that is a story that needs to be told, which I agree. I mean, oh gosh, there's still a lot of mystery to, when I look at some interviews of Marvin Gaye and he looks under the influence. There's one that really kind of broke my heart, and he was just out of it. I wish it's like, what were you going through? And some people have said, Tammy Terrell's death really effed him up. He didn't really recover, and that's all alleged. That's what may have happened. Um, and I would love to have known what happened. He says, I was over at Quincy Jones's house and I'm asking Quincy, I'm hearing rumors that Marvin was gay. And I'm like, was he gay? Howard said, and Quincy's like, yes. I'm going to put a legend on that because I don't really see Q really revealing people's business like that. Just saying. And so, Terrence Howard was like, that is a deal breaker, he told Mar. They would have wanted to do that, and I wouldn't have been able to do that, Howard said, playing a gay man. That's just, I guess it's not his thing. Mar asked, you mean you couldn't kiss a guy a, on a screen in a movie? Howard replied, no, because I don't fake it. That would F me up, Howard added. I would cut my lips off. Now that's dramatic. That's dramatic. If I kissed some man, I would have cut my lips off. The Empire Star added, it does not make me homophobic to not want to kiss a man. Howard explained that it was more a matter of committing to the role than anything else. I can't play that character 100%, Howard said. I can't surrender myself to a place that I don't understand. You know, you can't be mad at that because, an artist, an actor or an actress, they are really serious about their craft. And to play something, you know, um, you gotta be authentic, and you gotta sometimes you put your whole self into it, live and breathe that character. You hear actors and actresses doing that, even if it's a role that they can't bathe for days, they'll do that, get in character. So I get that. I'm not, I get that. Gay, who was shot and killed by his father in 1984, that always trips me out. I remember um, finding that out in 84 and how devastated I was. I think I was maybe 9 years old. Yeah. Never publicly came out and was married twice to Anna Gordy and then to Janice Hunter. Still faced speculation about his sexuality, and it's been said that he added the E to the end of the name in part to dispel such rumors. And that's an interesting fun fact. I didn't know that. And in the biography, Divided Soul, Gay is quoted as saying, sexually, men don't interest me. Hmm. Sexually, men don't interest me. Jones, however, made headlines in a 2018 interview when he claimed that Gay and Richard Pryor, and this was Quincy Jones, there's claiming that he said this in 2018, an interview when he claimed that Gay and Richard Pryor slept with Marlon Brando, the Godfather. That's alleged. I'm going to put a legend on that. Reps for Howard and Daniels have not yet responded to the Hollywood Reporter's request for comment. Wow. I'm also trying to see Terrence as Marvin. There is a sultry, you know, sexiness to Terrence Howard that he can pull it off. Um, that cold daddy vibe that Marvin had. I always think about Marvin in when he did this the Star Spangled Banner in his rendition at the NBA Finals game. I think that was in 1983 or 80, not too long before he died or got killed. But I mean, the way he sung it was so sultry and just whew, soulful. Um, I am the biggest Marvin Gaye fan. Um, I love him. My mom loved him. My just she still loves him. You know. But anyways, what do you think about this? Click the subscribe button, click the bell so you get notifications. But catchers, what do you think? You know, um, is Terrence Howard wrong for not wanting to play the biopic of him? Um, hmm. I'm not really big on telling people secrets when they're dead. Things like that. I don't know, or even when they're alive. I just it's something like that. I don't think I would want to bring up again. You know, um, hmm. And can I be real with you too? And I'm going to get some pushback. I don't know if I would have this conversation with someone like this, and it's something historical about that. And it's so funny. On this interview, he spoke about how black men were violated during slavery as a form of tearing them down. And and it's not me, being racist. It's just certain things I don't want to discuss with a person that is Caucasian about that for some reason. I just don't. I don't want to reveal my brother's sexuality like that. I don't know. It's weird. It's weird. You know, I'm a little upset with Bill Maher anyways for going to, you know, the hang with the orange man anyway. I thought he was a little smarter than that, and he left there, drinking the Kool-Aid, talking about he's not that bad. But yet so many people are out of work. He's trying to take away, you know, benefits for the elderly, the veterans. So many things that this man is doing, wanting to bring back Jim Crow, trying to destroy diversity and inclusion, um, you know, snatching American born babies out of the country that they were born and sending them to other countries because he's cruel, allegedly. Anyways, I'm just not going to talk about him right now. But what do you say, catchers? How do you feel about what Terrence Howard has said? Till next time. Love you guys. Thank you for supporting me. My day ones. Thank you. My 70 subscribers. Look, um, God is real. Bye.